going back to school soon. Either you started already or you're starting soon after Labor Day. I know different parts of the country slash world do it differently, but it's that time of year where back to school is everywhere, and I know that that creates a lot of anxiety for a lot of people. So I wanted to do kind of a giving back to school advice to students that I wish I was given when I was a college student, or just a student in general. So I have a list of, I want to say 15 things that I brainstormed, and I have my notes down there that I'm going to be looking at. And please understand that I am not coming to you from a point of, I was the best student, here's everything that I did, you should do the same thing. In reality, most of the things that I'm going to tell you are things that I wish I had done that I did not do. So I'm kind of using my own experience to help others, I guess. A lot of these, I think, can be used for both high school and college. Some of them are, though, just like strictly college advice. For those of you who are like me, who are done with school, this may not be too applicable for you. However, you can listen either just to get some sleep, or you can share your wisdom in the comments below. Tell me if you agree, disagree, and what you would have added to my list. I tried to keep it relatively short, because obviously I'm going to be rambling with each one, so I didn't want to make this video like forever long. But yes, so I have a list of about 15 things, and this is advice that I wish I was given when I was a student. So the first two kind of go hand in hand, but the first one is simply to just introduce yourself. Talk to people, make people know who you are, and that doesn't have to be in a cocky way. That's, you sit next to someone in class that you've never met, introduce yourself, rather than just sit there on your phone waiting for class to start like I did. Make your professors know who you are. Your first assignment, even if you don't need help, go talk to your teacher or your professor. Make them know who you are. It shows ambition, it shows that you're conscientious, and it just shows that you're personable. And everybody loves a personable person who takes the time to sit and talk to you and give you their full attention. That, like, goes a long way. Trust me, even at work, I have introduced myself to the maintenance crew. There's a man who comes in every night to take out the garbage in our director's office, and I say hi to him every night. So, you know, just be personable. I promise you it goes a long way. And the second one, similarly, is just to engage. And by that I mean go to class, either high school or college, go to class prepared to discuss the material at hand. Do not just be content with being a wallflower. I very rarely participated in class. I had to really like the class and be comfortable with the professor and the people in the class for me to participate. Even classes that participation was mandatory and it was a big part of your grade, even those classes, I had a hard time participating most of the time. So the first step is just to make sure you understand the material so that you can discuss it. And if you don't understand it, it's a perfect opportunity to go talk to your professor. Trust me, like, if you're embarrassed about, like, what am I gonna say, or is this gonna be awkward, your professor talks to so many students in a day. I guarantee he or she will not spend the rest of the day thinking about your conversation. I promise you. biology and 2 philosophy classes. I was not a fan of either of them. The information that I learned in those classes has not helped me so far in building my career, and yet still engaging in those classes is important because it's more about the social aspect. It gives you people skills, it gives you confidence to speak in front of a group of people. It's not always about the content matter. Going to class, because you can sit in your classroom or in your dorm room or wherever, your study hall, and read a textbook and learn the material. Class is mostly about the social aspect, and building those people skills, honestly, is one of the most important skills that you can learn. I promise you. So, the moral of those first 2 is just make people know who you are. The third one is very simple, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to roll your eyes at me, but the third one is simply to show up. Go to class. Think about how much you or your parents pay for your education. This is mostly geared towards college, obviously, unless you go to a private high school, but think about how much it costs. It's thousands and thousands of dollars, and every time you don't go to class, even if you're reading the material in your dorm room or wherever, it is a waste of money, and you're losing those opportunities to build those people skills, those conversational skills, and it makes you engage with people. And saying things out loud and hearing other students say it out loud, it helps you kind of stick the information in your brain. So just go to class. Just go to class. Even the classes where attendance isn't mandatory, because you'll get a couple of those, but still, just try to go to class. The fourth one is simply don't just have going out friends, and I will explain what I mean by that. So, especially in college, mostly in college, honestly, you're going to go out and do things on the weekends. You're going to go, I don't know, to shows, you're going to go to bars, you're going to go to clubs, you're going to go, whatever. Not that I'm sitting here and condoning you to go out and drink. You don't have to, and a lot of people in college don't, believe it or not. But you're going to have that group of friends where those are like your people that you go out with on the weekends, and that's great. And a lot of the time, especially for freshmen, that becomes like the people you meet in your dorm rooms. It's just how it is. Those are the first people you meet and the first people that you feel comfortable with. But my advice to you would be to have friends that you also don't go out with, because going out with friends are great, but if one day you're feeling down and you're going through something, you want to have people who are also going to be there for you. And sometimes, yes, going out friends can do both. But there was once a time in my college career where I was going through something. I don't even remember what it was, but I was going through something and I felt like I had no one to talk to. And I realized my friends are great, I went through a period of time where the best friends from college that I have now, we were going through a little something and I didn't speak to them for a couple of months. It's a long story, but we're cool now. But there was a time where when I didn't have them, I felt like I didn't have anyone, and I knew a bunch of people, but I didn't have anybody to really confide in at the time, and I felt really alone. So I don't know if this one makes sense to you or not, but basically have different circles of friends. Have circles of friends in your class, circles of friends that you go out with, circles of friends who maybe you join clubs with or you meet in the clubs that you're interested in. Have different circles of friends. Maybe I should have titled number 4 that, but... And then obviously, when you find like that good group of people and those good friends, then be the same friend to them in return. Number 5 is one of the biggest ones that I wish I knew. 5 was take advantage of campus life life, even if you're commuting. I used my commuting as an excuse to not really get involved. I was very shy, I guess, with new people. I've gotten a lot better now. Now I'll like talk to anybody and it's fine, but in college I was very afraid to like go try new things and do it by myself and whatever. I'll give you an example. So throughout junior high and high school I was a dancer. I loved it so much. And then when I got to college, I didn't have like my dance studio anymore or my dance classes that I took in high school. My college had a dance team that I really wanted to be a part of, and I never auditioned because I was nervous and afraid, and their rehearsals were at 9 p.m. every night. So I used that excuse of, oh, well, if I get out of class at 3, what am I going to do for 6 hours, you know, because I don't have a dorm room to go hang out in or whatever, which, valid point, but at the same time, if I really wanted it, I would have made a way, you know. There is, I kid you not, something going on at college 24/7. There are clubs, there are activities, there are, even if it's like my college did, we had this big lawn and they would play a movie every once in a while on a big blow-up screen. Like, there's always things to do, and that's how you meet people, and that's how you engage, and that's how you find people like you who have the same interests, you know. So even if you don't live at school, I understand your struggle, but there are a million ways to still be involved and to still meet people. And again, it all goes back to those people skills that are really important to build. Number 6, I don't really have to explain too much, but number 6 is basically the people that you make friends with at the start of your either high school or college career that you're super close with. You may not still be friends with all of them by the time graduation rolls around, and that's okay. People grow, people outgrow each other. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. I had a friend who I considered him a best friend at the start of college, probably the first, maybe not so much freshman year, but sophomore and junior year. He was one of my best friends, and we were not on speaking terms by the time graduation rolled around, and we're still not. And you know what? That's okay. Granted, it doesn't always have to end like that. It can be a very friendly, you know, separation, and a civil situation, but we were not that fortunate, and that's okay. You're gonna grow, and like, you're gonna change who you are. Your first year of high school or college is not who you're gonna be the day of graduation. It's just how it is. You're gonna grow, and you may outgrow people, and people may outgrow you, and that's okay. So that one's very simple, but very important. Number 7 I have that says adjust your schedule around when you are the most productive and creative. So that may just be for college. I don't know. Like, in high school, I wasn't really in control of my schedule, and like, my high school didn't have night classes, but in college I took quite a few night classes, and I really, really enjoyed them. Instead of meeting twice or 3 times a week, it was once a week for 3 hours at night, which may sound horrible, but I actually really liked it. And again, that's just me. That may not work for someone else. So when you make your schedule, if you don't want to take 8:30 a.m. classes, don't do it. If you are not a morning person and you're just going to be dragging your feet to class every morning, don't do it. But if you feel like you thrive later on in the day, and that's when your creative juices get flowing, take night classes. If you feel like you need to meet in a class that's 3 times a week because that helps the information stick in your brain and you're less stressed, then take classes 3 times a week. It's really up to you. So, you know, freshman, a little bit sophomore year, feel it out. Take early morning classes, take a night class, see which one you prefer, so that by the time, you know, junior or senior year rolls around and you really need to like buckle down and thrive and you know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Sorry, I think my voice keeps cracking. I don't know if you can hear that. My water is over there. It's so far, I can't get it. Number 8, it's never too early to start looking into jobs and internships. And especially with internships, do as many as you can. I cannot even stress enough how amazing and important internships are. An internship is basically, it can be like a 3 or 4 month job, and if you hate it, you never have to do it again. Ever. That's the beauty of an internship. You figure out what you like and what you don't like, especially when it comes to the rest of your life. Most people want to do a job that they enjoy. So, even if it's freshman year, start looking. There's no harm. There is no harm in looking. Some internships may, require you to be either in your junior and senior year, and that's okay. But not all internships. It's never too early to start dipping your toes in and just seeing what's out there. When you start to get to sophomore and junior year, that's when you should really start to send your resume out there. Go to your career office. They will help you. I sat down with a girl. She was a grad student, and she literally just took my resume, marked it up. She said, I would add this here, I would take this out, blah, 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 blah. It's always better to have an extra pair of eyes look at your resume and just do as many as you can. I only did one internship, and it was the summer after my junior year, and luckily it landed the job that I have now. Thank God. But not everybody is that lucky. I consider myself to be very lucky because that doesn't happen often. And I know a lot of people who studied, what I studied in the, entertainment and media world. It's very hard to land a job. Very hard. And I know some people who just took any job because they couldn't find what they wanted in their field, which happens a lot. So the beauty of your internships, besides just seeing what you like and what you don't like and learning about your field, it also allows you to network and make connections and talk to people, add people on social media, make a LinkedIn account where you can reach these people again, and just have those connections. Okay, have those connections. So number 9 says, if you go into college undecided, not knowing what you want to do with your life, you're not a failure. You're okay. A lot of people feel very discouraged when they go into college undecided. I should have been undecided when I went into school, but I was pressured by counselors, my mom a little bit, to have some sort of direction, and I didn't have any yet. So I just picked psychology. Not that psychology is bad, I actually still find it really interesting, but that's not what I wanted to do with my life. So I just picked something that I thought was interesting and just wrote it down. But if I had put undecided, I probably still would have ended up exactly where I am now. It's okay to be undecided. I think some colleges, which this may not be a thing anymore, but I remember not being able to put undecided for a couple of schools, which I think is dumb. But if you can put undecided and you don't know yet, that's okay. I'm telling you that it's okay, because you're going to grow and you're going to explore things and you're going to find new interests. And a lot of people who do put a major of any kind when they start college, it almost always changes in some way, shape, or form by the time they graduate. I went in as a psych major, and I graduated with a major in film and television, a concentration in television, and a minor in communications and culture. It's a big difference. And even if I had gone in with common media studies, it still would have changed into what I ended up with in the end anyway. So your major is going to change, and you're probably going to throw a minor in there if you want to, and that's okay. That's what it should be, So if you don't know what you want to do yet with your life, it's okay. Number 10 is throughout your entire experience, both high school and college, build yourself, not your resume. Granted, yes, a impressive resume is an impressive resume, and we love those. But if you are stacking your schedule with a million things solely just to put them on your resume, you're going to be miserable. So in this point, I mean, do things that you like and that you want to do that make you happy. Because granted, or where was I going with that? I don't know. But what I was trying to say is, say you're going on like a college interview, right? If you have a million things to talk about that you're passionate about, it's going to be a much more invigorating conversation with your interviewer rather than having a conversation about things that you just have on your resume that you don't really care about. So focus on building you and your interests and your people skills, and I promise the resume will come. Number 11, this doesn't even have to be for students, this could be for anybody in the world. If you are a procrastinator, or you get so overwhelmed by having a million things to do and you don't know where to start, make lists. And I learned this from watching Milena Ciciotti's channel. She doesn't have an ASMR channel, but just her regular channel. She makes lists, and when I make lists, I make a little box next to each list item that I can put a check in once I do it, and that makes me want to do what's on the list, because I get to give myself little checks, you know. And then once you see the full list of all the things checked off, you're like, whew, and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel really accomplished. So making lists gets your mind organized. It gives you a purpose to get those things done, and it's usually in a more timely and organized manner. So lists are your friend, planners are your friend. Google Calendar is my favorite thing ever. The calendar app on the iPhone is good, but the Google Calendar, you can color code things. So I have blue is work, purple is friends, yellow is birthdays, green is like doctor's appointments, like I color code everything, red is church events, and it just keeps you so organized. So number 12 is also, it's very simple. If you can study abroad, do it. Go study in Europe or the UK somewhere, or if you're over there, come study in the US or wherever you want to study. I never did. If I did, because I was a commuter, so I never had to pay for dorming. So if I went to study abroad, I would have had to take out more loans, which I really didn't want to do. But my friends who were dorming, they went to study abroad, and it wasn't that much more expensive because they were already paying dorming anyway. And two of my friends, they were great people before they went to study abroad, but they went to study abroad for a whole semester, came back, and they were like new people. Like, they were mature and they were cultured, and it's just such a good experience. Even if it's for only, I have a friend who went to study in Amsterdam for like 2 weeks, but still it's an experience, and you grow and you become more cultured, and that's super important. Plus traveling, when else are you going to travel, you know? When you are older and you start working, it becomes a lot harder to go on trips. So go see the world and study at the same time. It's literally the perfect time to do it. And if you're scared and maybe like a lot of your friends aren't going to do it, you can still go by yourself. You're going to meet people, you're going to be rooming with people, and you'll build those relationships in some way, shape, or form. And because you're living with those people and doing everything with those people, those are going to be friendships that are going to last forever. So study abroad if you can. If you're like me and it would make things a little more difficult, then obviously that's your choice. But if the opportunity presents itself, I would recommend you go study abroad. I wish I did. 13 is point blank simple. Always buy used textbooks and sell your old ones. So obviously, if you're I rented, I didn't even want to keep them. I rented used textbooks and then I returned them at the end of the semester. There are a couple that you're not going to be able to rent and you just have to buy, and those are the ones that you can sell. Your bookstore at your school almost always has a way for you to sell them back. If you rent on Amazon, they make it super easy for you. It's free to ship them back in at the end of the semester. And if you buy them off of Amazon, you can also resell them back at the end of the semester too. Amazon was like my best one because my bookstore at school was expensive. So Amazon and Chegg, is that what it's called? It's been so long I don't even remember. CHEGG, one of those two. Just search them all and find the cheapest one. And the cool thing about used textbooks too is that a lot of times people will write in the margins like little notes, but then they sell it, but their notes are still in there, so you can kind of like read their notes. It's a little tidbit there for you. 14, so we have 2 more. This one comes, okay, so let me preface this one with a lot of people, this is mostly for college now, a lot of people think that college is the time for you to go out and date as many people as you can and sleep with as many people as you can and find out what you like and blah 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 blah. And yes, there is a truth to that. However, 14 says don't get consumed with dating so many people to, you know, feel good about yourself and have your friends be like, oh, I see you, you know, because one day the parties and the girls or boys, whatever you're interested in, one day that's all gonna be gone. And so if you are focused way more on that than like your studies or extracurricular activities or whatever, then you're not really gonna have much left after graduation. Because if that's all you were consumed about, the parties and the hooking up and whatever, you're not gonna be left with much at the end. So yes, dating is fun. You don't need to be with someone to feel good or feel, you know, complete. College is the time to learn how to be your own person. But yeah, this like I don't judge anybody, but like this whole hookup culture is just, it's a lot. It's a lot. So just be smart and be mindful. Obviously, yes, go out and have fun, but don't lose yourself and don't lose track of why you're really at college. So that's my mom advice. I realize I sound very old, but just go with it. And last but not least, 15 is enjoy it, because the years fly by. Guys, when I tell you that it feels like I was applying to colleges like 2 years ago, like I remember it so well, like it just happened, and here I am now going into my 2nd year of being a graduate and working. It's like, how? How? It just goes by so fast. And I always grew up hearing like adults say the older you get, the faster time goes by. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. It's gonna be Christmas like tomorrow. I already know. Like, summer is winding down, and then the fall comes, and then once Halloween hits, it's Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, like all just back to back to back. It just goes by so fast. And my friends and I are always, you know how Facebook, if you're on Facebook, you'll see that it like shows you memories, like on this day 2 years ago, 3 years ago, this happened, and it'll show you a bunch of pictures. And my friends and I always see the pictures from like our dances and our formals in college and all the fun things we did, and it just feels like it was yesterday, you know. So enjoy it. Don't spend, studying is important, but don't spend all your time in the library. You know, just have a balance and enjoy everything, and take pictures. Take lots and lots and lots of pictures so that you can look back after college when you're in the real world and you're working with responsibilities, so that you can look back and kind of like relive those memories. But I don't say that to scare you. You know, adulthood is, there's a lot of things you have to worry about and think about all the time, and it's stressful, and you know, working can be a lot sometimes without a break. But all that being said, adulthood is fun, and you really kind of become your own person, and you make your money so that you can go out and enjoy, but also obviously, you know, pay the things that you need to pay. But adulthood is fun. So I'm not saying that it's all downhill after college, because it's not. And honestly, a lot of things that are gonna seem really important in college, and definitely even like high school, the things that you're worried about, when you get to be a graduate, like in the adult world, all of that is literally gonna seem like nothing, and you're probably gonna forget a lot of it too. So just enjoy every minute of it. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take others too seriously. Do what you gotta do for you, and just enjoy it, because this is like the start of your prime age. So I know that all of you who are starting your new school year, I know you're all gonna kill it this year. This is gonna be one of your best years yet, and it's only gonna keep getting better, and I like truly believe that. Just don't lose sight of you, don't lose sight of what's important and why you're really there, and you'll be fine. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. This turned out to be a lot longer than I expected it to be, but I would love to, if you're not sleeping, start a little discussion down in the comments. What you agreed with, what you disagreed with, what you would add. If any of you who are starting school have any questions, you can leave them down below and I'll try to respond to them. And I hope those of you who this is not really for, I hope that you enjoyed the whispering anyway, and that you're feeling a little relaxed. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.